Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy, Angel R Talk, with the Not Just NYCTalking.com podcast.
The city of New York, Boricua from the Bronx.
Today I got on a dude that I met, I don't remember how many years ago, but it was a while, right? It was a while back. It was at an open mic, Inspired Word. And my man, and yo, dude, this song has been echoing in my head the last couple of days. Like I've been thinking about it. You did this song called Bad Motherfucker. That was the first time I ever met you. So, I'm going to introduce y'all, LAV.
Yeah.
Yo, LAV, what's up, man? What's up?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling, man. Chilling. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to stay focused. I got some new material I've been working on. New material I'm trying to, bring out. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, this whole COVID-19 shit fucked up a lot of everybody's workflow. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
the whole world, man. The whole world. People have lost their jobs. I mean, people are dying. I mean, this is more than just the mere inconvenience, man. This shit has killed people. People have lost their businesses. Countries are gonna be suffering for. Man, it's crazy, man. So you're a hip hop artist, right? That's how I met you, as a hip hop artist.
Mm-hmm. Rest in peace to Fred the Godson. You know what I'm saying? He was, he basically, was one of the people I met in the rap game that actually literally died from this shit.
Yo, man, it's
that shit hit the news too. I couldn't believe it, man. That shit hit the news. I'm like, oh shit.
It's crazy, man. It's like, the crazy thing about this COVID thing is that you could get it and be totally and not even know it, and somebody else gets it and they might get a little sick, and somebody else gets it and they fucking die.
Yo,
it's crazy.
I'm kind of scared that I even did that shit. There was like a extended family member that died. He caught a fucking blood clot in his balls. How the fuck did that happen? And they said it was COVID. Yeah.
Fuck, man. That's a fucked up. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't an extended family member of mine, I probably would have laughed about it. Cause who the fuck? How does that happen to your balls? But yo, man, it's crazy, man. This COVID-19 shit is seriously no joke.
Yeah, man. It's definitely thrown I mean, in life overall throughout the entire world, man. I wonder how they're gonna look at this in history, like 100 years from now. How they're gonna look back? They might look back at us and be like, those fucking savages. The same way we look at people who were dying from like shit that they could have just gotten a shot 100 years ago, polio or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They might look at us and be like, damn savages. All they had to do was eat a garlic. You know what I mean? Like some shit we might not know yet. All they had to do was take a raw garlic clove and put it up their butt and you're good. There might be some, might be some crazy thing like that. And they'll just look back on us and be like, so many people died needlessly because they were Neanderthals. That's probably what's going to happen 100 years from now.
With all this technology we got, we probably will be considered Neanderthals in the future. Yeah. It's crazy.
They used to talk over a screen? What? They're going to be chilling with their holograms or teleporting themselves, Yo, man. Crazy. So, tell me about that song, man. Like, so that song is crazy. Like, I'm bringing that up right off the bat because I wrote a song that was pretty crazy. I was afraid to share it. I never posted it on anything because I thought I still got to be able to work. I got to be able to get a job. If people hear this song, they're probably going to think I'm crazy. Like it was the lyrics. I thought it was clever as hell, but I'm not talking about yours. I'm talking about mine, right? Yours was freaking like artwork. When I first heard that, dude, I was sitting at the Inspired Word, and I hadn't really noticed you yet. You were kind of just kicking it, and then you got up and you went up with that freaking song, and it was like, holy crap, man. No. Now, talking about your joint is crazy, man. No, my shit, I never even, I was just scared to just put it out, man.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Everybody is always scared to show their true selves. Like, the human heart is made of different emotions, right? You got anger, sadness, you know what I'm saying? You have love. You have all of this shit, right? So, like, it should be normal for you to say something about, you know what I'm saying, drop kicking people and shooting people. It should be normal. You're venting your energy out. You're venting you're filtering out your negative energy. You know what I'm saying? You're putting it out into the universe so that you won't really have to do that shit.
Yeah,
You know what
you're
I'm saying? And
venting
if
in a
you do
positive
it,
way, you know, and you're venting in a creative, positive way. The problem is that people take that shit literally. So like,
yo,
you
you know
know,
how many
you,
people came up to me after that song saying, "Oh
bro,
my
dude,
God," you talk about, "Oh my God," you know what I'm saying?
the,
Like, you know, and
your
I
your
had to be
joint was
polite and be genuine with
definitely.
this because I was getting paid, so I had to be polite. But those moments, like, there was this girl from Hunter College, right? She was in charge of the radio station over there, and this because she was they don't want to play my music on the radio, even though I sent her a different song.
Mm.
The bitch didn't want to fucking play my shit on the radio. So, you know, fuck WHCS Hunter College. Fuck.
You know, that shit is it's probably well. You figure if this is what happens, right? Let's say you do one song that is that song, right? Like Bad Motherfucker, where you're talking about, you know, I want to shoot a motherfucker long distance, you
Right?
know, over the phone, like so people take that
Oh wow,
song.
yeah, you remember that?
Oh, dude, I tell you, it's been echoing in my, especially since we said we were gonna talk. So the lyrics
Right.
just been, it's been kind of popping through my head. I showed
And
this song to, as a matter of fact, I showed this song to my son like a day or two ago. I was like, yo, listen to this, man. Listen to the lyrics, right? Because it's wild, man. So she hears this song, and automatically you're gonna get like blacklisted, you know, because
yeah.
you know if they play any other song, they're still in their mind they're supporting an artist who supports or stands for this, you know. Um,
I know, it's
but
crazy.
this,
It's like the basement bar also out in I believe Bushwick or Williamsburg. I headlined the show there, and like afterwards I wanted to rent the space to do like a music video slash concert,
mm,
and the said it was some I forgot, it was some from San Francisco that was bartending. She told me that no, I can't call her a bitch. I could call her manager a bitch because he or she said that I was too vulgar and they can't have me. There you go. Her name was Maya Lowe. Maya Lowe went, spoke to the manager, see if I could rent the space, and they said because I was too vulgar, they can't have me there again. Ain't that some shit? Meanwhile, I was selling
yeah,
CDs there. I think it was the fact that, you know what I'm saying, maybe I didn't buy a drink, but I did buy water, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I was selling
no,
CDs. I didn't want to use my, you know, at that time, I didn't want to use my CD money, you know what I'm saying, to go, you know, and waste it on getting drunk and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's mad. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, word, I'm paying my rent with my music at this point. You know, I'm putting food on the table with my music at this point. Like, you know, I wasn't
Mm,
trying to, you know, I had to hold on to every penny. So if it was
yeah.
because of that and they didn't want to say it, then, you know, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you know.
Yeah, no, there's some. I think it's all attached because of the world we live in right now. People are very
No, we're
sensitive,
different.
you
People are
know.
just so sensitive. They're
You
so
know,
different.
and I mean, the song is hard, man. That's a hard song, man. Like you go in, bro. Like
No,
you
thank
know,
you. Yeah.
I enjoy that shit, man. Like you know, I listen to it. I think it's clever. I think it's mad clever. The puns and
Man,
you know, it's clever. But well, again, to my point, originally, I didn't release my song because I didn't want that kind of stuff to happen to me, particularly because at the time I worked in Wall Street, you know, so
right.
I worked on the corporate America, and if I put that out, and let's just say that by chance blew up, you know, the only way I'd be okay if it blew up and then all of a sudden I got famous and became a, you know, a big star or whatever, right? But if it just got heard by a few people and then made its way back to where I used to work or whatever, could have been bad for me in terms of employment, you know,
Yeah.
you know. So you got to kind of keep. I wanted to keep the job, so I was like, you know, I can't release this song, but I thought it was clever. I thought my lyrics and the everything behind it was clever, but you know,
But
I
they
was
don't
a
got your job. Don't gotta know what you're doing. Let me tell you something, man. I mean, shout out to DeLeon Moore, right? He was my supervisor at the time. He heard my song. He saw the video to Bad Motherfucker. right? This is when it was released, years back. He
Yeah.
said, if it wasn't for the fact that I know you, you're such a cool person, you wouldn't be employable. That's what he said. That's what he
Yeah.
said. That shit was funny. I was doing, telemarketing, market research at the time. You know what I'm saying? I was, using that money to pay for studio time and shit. I was also selling weed on the side. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to,
Hustle.
trying to make that, yeah, trying to hustle, make ends meet. Just had a baby. You know what I'm saying? So I was really trying to, grind out. And, he saw that. He respected it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't have to like the music, or you don't have to you don't have to like the music to respect the art form. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like my supervisors, every supervisor that I've come across, except for like at least one or two people, respected the shit out of me because they knew I was working towards something. It
Right.
wasn't like I was just, sitting on my ass, just, trying to collect a check. I was actually working towards something. And that's something that, that's
Right.
something that people admire. You know what I'm saying? So why not be transparent about the shit that you do? Yeah, you don't gotta tell everybody, but to the ones that people have to deserve that kind of, you know, that kind of transparency also. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like you don't gotta let anybody into your circle like that. If you know that guy's a piece of shit at work, why are you gonna fucking go and promote your music to him? You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? Don't. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, but there's a lot of people. Shout out to Nicholas Fafano. You know what I'm saying? He actually hosted one of my concerts. You know what I'm saying? And he was my supervisor. He dressed up as as Satan. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh, see,
yeah,
that's what's
man,
up.
he was
Support,
fucking
man.
cool.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Love
Yeah,
that
that's
guy,
what's.
man. Matter of fact, yo, so I gotta reach out to him too, because I'm working on a new music video for the new album. You know what I'm saying? Breaking Bad. So I'm working on that. You know what I'm saying? I already put out Be Alright, the one with the cowboy hat and shit. Because people still remember me for Bad Motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
want
yeah.
people to remember me also
I
for the
see.
good shit too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always see little snippets on Instagram every so often, mixing chemicals media, right? I be
Yeah,
seeing stuff come
that's
up,
that's our shit. That's our label. Yeah, yeah. That's me, and that's James Catapano. He's the executive producer. And the head of the company. You know what I'm saying? So it's me and him. You know what I'm saying? We just kicking ass, doing our thing. Yeah, man. Yeah, mixing chemicals.
Cool, cool. That's what's up, man. Yo,
Yeah,
you in addition to music, you also have trained martial arts, right? I've seen you post in the past
yeah,
about martial arts and self-defense and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I'm into
Um,
that. Yeah, that's my thing. That's my happy place. You know what I'm saying? That's my happy place. While the world is falling in chaos, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta do something. You know what I'm saying? To punch negativity in the face, bro. You really have to.
so
You know
you
what I'm
trained,
saying?
you said V Arnis? Is that what you said? V Arnis Jiu-Jitsu, or what was
Oh, it
the
was I was training jiu-jitsu with Ricky
V
Singh. Yeah, I was
V-Jitsu?
an orange belt over there in Dojo Warriors, across the street from where you was teaching. You were teaching a crunch
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Richmond Hill. Across the street was Dojo Warriors. And I was doing that. I was training I was training in jiu-jitsu. You know what I'm saying? The style that was created by Florendio, was it Visitacion, the Filipino, the old man that came out here from Asia and started training everybody. You know what I'm
V-Jitsu.
saying?
Is it like a combat art or like forms art? Like what's
Oh man,
the
it's it's like stand up. It's just stand up, break your arm shit.
It's what's up.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, no nonsense shit, but also teaches you control. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can control yourself in the middle of the shit, you can control the situation. Because sometimes you don't want to, like, hurt your drunk friend when he's
Right,
acting
right,
stupid.
of course, of
You know
course.
what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. But there's times when you might have to go and, you know what I'm saying, and inflict a little more pain. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes you just want to take the arm off completely. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
depends on the situation, right? And how you scared you are and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You just can't let fear grip your heart. You have to move. You have to do something. You know what I'm saying? You got to use. What was it? Mike Tyson said something. I watch Mike Tyson like a lot.
Oh, me
And he
too,
said,
man. Me
"Yeah, man,
too.
I love the way
Tyson.
he is now, man."
Tyson. I
Yeah,
love his hot boxing show, man. That podcast is dope, man.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I relate to Tyson because he said he started a fight and he started to get tough and become that way because he was afraid. He was
Exactly.
afraid of being humiliated on the street. And that's all the same reasons why I started to lift weights, why I started
Right,
to pump iron, why I started to do mixed martial arts, why, because,
right,
growing up, I was victimized a lot in the streets.
right,
So,
right.
when you have that kind of experience, you kind of, let me grab my dog, man. She's over here barking. When you have those experiences, hey girl, when you have those experiences of people like beating your ass and robbing you and stuff, you don't want to
Oh
go
yeah,
through that.
you get tired of that shit. You
You
get
don't want to
tired of that
go
shit.
through it. So
Yeah.
you start to become this really tough exterior to protect yourself. And Tyson,
Right.
he had a show. It was on Netflix. I think it was on Netflix. I'm pretty sure. And he said, I don't want to be humiliated in the street anymore. I don't want to be victimized. I don't want to. So I get strong. I get tough. I don't want to be humiliated in the street. So I relate to that. Like I
Yeah,
relate to
exactly.
that.
He said
Um.
something interesting. He said a cuss, his the Italian coach that took him in.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said that cuss told him that fear is like fire. You either use it to warm yourself up or you burn the whole house down with it. It's how you
Mm,
control it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So, you know what I'm saying? That kind of fear, yeah. The fear of humiliation is very normal, you know what I'm saying? Especially, when you and you know what I'm saying? I mean, we're from the Bronx, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Bronx, so, I mean, that's as real as it gets, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, next to Bronx is Newark. You know what I'm saying? In Jersey. I mean, that's, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, you gotta throw hands. You gotta
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
willing, and you gotta
Adapt
be
to.
willing to control yourself and inside of you. You gotta control yourself because if you let that shit take over you, man, motherfuckers will eat you alive, man. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, man. It's wild out there. It's a tough way to grow up. How old are you, man? How
Oh, I'm 33 now. Yeah.
okay. So you're like one generation. You're a decade behind me. As I was a kid in the 80s. And I was born in the 70s. I was a kid in the 80s, a teenager in the 90s. And the Bronx
Generation
was,
X.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm Generation Y. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a little, like a decade later. It's a
Yeah.
10-year difference. So it was the streets was wild, man. I mean, we had a lot of gangs, we had a lot of, and you know, I always tried to do the right thing and stay on the right path, you know.
Right.
But
A lot of
it
us
was,
did, man, but some of us got tired of it. Some of us had no choice. There was a lot of kids, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That we gotta like well, I was born during a teen pregnancy era, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
my parents were both teenagers, you know what I'm saying? And, sometimes, they don't train you. They can't train you for out
Well,
there. You know what I'm
they
saying?
they themselves were still growing up. You
Yeah,
know what I
that's
mean?
what I'm saying. So
Uh,
you have to
you
figure
know,
shit out yourself. Yeah.
they
You know what I'm
themselves
saying?
were still figuring things out, and it's like I had written a poem called "Kids Having Kids." It's kids having kids because I saw it all the time when I was a teenager. All my friends had kids. All my friends
Yeah,
had kids.
yeah,
Very young. People who were not
yeah.
prepared. They were not prepared, and you know, and you come into this rough environment. I talk with my son about that all the time. Like about how you survive in that type of a world. Like for me, I for pretty much most of my childhood to my teenage years, I was a victim in the street, man. You know, I was always getting robbed and jumped, and every time I try to fight back and I start getting the best of the opponent, I get jumped. So
Yeah,
these
that's how
guys,
I
these
do.
guys were suckers, man. They were
Yeah, that's
suckers.
how
I
I do.
I think back on it, man, and I'm like, man, all these dudes, they were suckers because okay, I'm a nerd, right? Okay, I'm soft or whatever. We fighting one on one. I'm beating you up. Then your friends come beat me up. We were having a fair one on one. I start whooping you, and then your boys jump me. That's how they
That's
kept me,
why, yeah,
that's how they kept me down. And when I think back on it now as an adult, I'm like, these guys were suckers. I used to be scared of them, but nah, you know what? They were suckers because they won't fight me themselves. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yo, I caught a menacing on a second degree charge because I pulled out a knife on the son of a bitch.
Mm.
Saved
Getting
me.
jumped
You know
type
what I'm
of
saying?
situation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was like a family dispute gone really, really, really bad, and the motherfucker happened to be a loan shark with guns. And so
Oh, shit.
I was listening to at that time I was listening to my D12 shit. I was listening to D12 and shit. There's a song called "That's How This Get Fucked Up." This is your loud mouth, turn the wild out. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Yo, for real." When I was high, bro. When I went to Simpson Street. There's some Chinese guy, used to have like a storefront. and I just saw a couple of switchblades he had, and I just bought them, and you know what I'm saying. That same like not even the next day, I just pulled it out on him, bro. Just you know what I'm saying, on some like, because he was like, "Who the fuck you looking at?" You know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying. Then people from the block was coming to back him up. I was like, phew, took the shit out. When I took the shit out, everybody looked at the knife. They stopped looking at me. They looked at the knife.
Right.
Long story short, the son of a bitch goes and runs and calls the cops on me. I go that same day. I take a life insurance exam, right? Because I wanted to be a life insurance agent, just to make some quick money. And long story short, I passed the test, got back home, excited to tell my girl, and I see a detective's business card on my table. Like, what the fuck?
Man.
Next thing you know, I found out how to turn myself in. Next thing you know, I had to do a day. Then I had to do community service. It was retarded, man. They wanted to give me 90 days for that dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I stopped carrying weapons because of that. I was like, yo, I gotta train again, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm my own weapon, you know
Can't
what I'm
take
saying?
that from
Then
you, man. You can't take that
exactly,
from
they
you.
can't take it from me. They could confiscate my knives. They could go and lock me up for a gun charge, give me 4 years, whatever. But they can't take my hands. They can't take my feet, my elbows. They can't take my teeth when I bite you. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't take that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? They could only take. They can't take your knowledge. They could only
Yeah.
take. You know what I'm saying? Like what you feel is. They can't even take your heart. They could feel. They take like what they feel like is your heart. Like they feel like your heart comes from your gun or your heart comes from your knife. Nah, man.
For some people, it does, man. Like them punks I'm telling you about that had to
Man,
flip on me and jump me because I had one cat. I was fighting him,
bitches
and
though, man. These are bitches.
yeah,
Their heart was in their team. You know what I'm saying? But these motherfuckers, y'all understand, man. They know there's no honor amongst thieves. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Eventually, one of these motherfuckers gonna turn on the other one, and the toughest one of them all is gonna fuck them all up. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna realize that he's being used. Trust me,
yeah.
man. A lot of
I
people
got
are taking
a,
advantage of my good spirit.
I
I
got a, I
know.
got a song like that too, man. That talks about that. That it finishes, you laying in the crypt and even left a freaking memory. Think they talk of you, motherfucker, left no legacy. That's the last
Mhm.
line of the song where it closes about people who those people that their only thing is about their crew and their like they can't stand on their own. Like those cats I'm talking about that.
Right. And it's
Because
sad because the ones that can stand on their own, that do back up their crew, they're the ones doing time for these motherfuckers.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's sad. It's sad. Yeah, I met a couple of cats like that, man. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? It's like, like motherfuckers, just came out of jail and now motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, is acting stupid again. So they gotta go and they gotta keep a keep a nigga in check just for they mans, but it's not worth it, man. It's not worth going back to jail for this motherfucker. He probably not even gonna do the same for you. I
yeah,
stopped. I stopped all that shit a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about me and the people who do for me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You know what I'm
Family,
saying? If you if
yeah,
you do for me, I'll do for you. You know what I'm saying? Treat me good, I'll treat you better. You know what I'm saying? But if you move funny, then you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna treat you like a clown. That's it.
yeah, yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
I only had one. I had one experience where I got swept up in that, and it was I'm not gonna say the crew because I don't but I was involved with a certain set. I wasn't in them, but I was hanging out with them. And one time, one of the kids got beat up. One of the guys' little brothers got beat up, and they were like, "Yo, let's go get this fool. Let's do it." So I joined with them. I went with them, and I mean, we put a hurting on the kid, man. Like we jacked him
Right.
up, And then that was the first time that I was involved in what I guess you can consider like a gang type of thing, and that was the first time. And that first time we got caught by cops, you know. And I was like 14, 15 years old, so I never messed with gangs. I wasn't even in the gang. I was just helping these guys out because they were from my block. And it got crazy, man. It got to the point where like the other guys pulled out guns and we started running and then the cops showed up. And fortunately I only got a ticket because the cops only saw me hop the train,
Ah,
So
they didn't see
he
everything
he
else.
didn't know everything else that was happening. But while he had me in that little room, a little room inside the station in the subway station where they hide. So he took me in the little room and he was looking through, and then he saw a bunch of Puerto Rican guys run down, and then a bunch of black guys run down, and he's like, "Hey man, there's a bunch of N words about to beat up your S words over there, and you want to go out there and help? You look like you're one of those S guys." He's using the racial term for Spanish. He's like, "You want to get out there? You want to get out there?" And I'm like, ain't you gonna stop this thing? Like, he's like, "Nah, we let you animals kill yourselves, and then we're gonna go and arrest the ones who's still standing." That's what this dude told me. Until
well, that must have opened up your eyes.
I was sitting there like, wow. I was like, "You guys aren't gonna
open up your eyes."
Whoa,
so I'm gonna let y'all and y'all kill each other, and then after that, we're gonna lock up the ones who's still standing.
Yeah. Whoever's still standing, we're gonna go get them. And then at that point, the black dudes were armed, so they pulled out the guns. When they pulled out the guns, they came out screaming, "Police, police!" and everybody scattered, and it didn't escalate.
I thought you were gonna let them. I thought you were gonna let them kill each other. Fucking full of shit, bastard.
Well, I think at that point, because there were guns involved and they had witnesses. Duty. They had witnesses in there. I think at that point they realized, if we let this thing escalate, this guy right here is gonna say what he just heard me say. So I mean, I guess if it would have just been a fist fight and they just start banging each other up, he might have just waited. But when they pulled out guns, now it became life and death type of thing. They were police, and everybody scattered and stuff. But I realized, I was thinking to myself after all that, I was like, "Yo, where's your gang? Why is it us kids from the block that are coming to help you when you're a gang member, but the gang itself isn't here helping you? You by yourself, a gang member. In this case, this kid was a member of a crew, and a couple of us friends were the ones who were involved helping him fight, but his crew wasn't there. So he's up there throwing gang signs, but none of them are there. It's us, and I realized at that point, you kind of ain't nobody got your back. You got your back. Your people got your back. I had I had joined a crew back then. It was called that was the name of the crew. It was like a small little crew, right? But we had we had a couple of guys who were affiliated with, who kind of said, you guys are cool with us. So like they gave us permission to exist, right? Because this was their, they ran certain areas of the Bronx, and we had to, get permission from, and they were cool, like you're cool, whatever. And
I mean, like people, it's crazy. Like, all right, there's good gangsters and corny gangsters. You know what I'm saying? There's good people and bad people. They exist everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Just because you in a gang don't mean you valid. And just because you neutral don't mean that, you're not valid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just, I mean, I've met a lot of, well, I'm not going to say, I've met a lot of assholes that will, but I also have really close friends of mine, that, were, I had a friend, I mean, I've gotten to some altercations, but at the same time, I actually have, a family member whose best friend is mad cool. So, it's like, I don't talk about what I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I only talk about what I see, And so, like, I see that, just everybody has this good and bad in them. And some people, they choose to use their power for good, or they choose to use their power for evil. If you're helping your friend out, something's going on, trying to put food on your table for your family, you hustling, you know what I'm saying? And this is this happens to be your family because you never had no other family. I understand, you're using your powers for good. But you just going over there para joder a la gente, to go and fucking bother people, you know what I'm saying, and be a fucking bully, then you're a piece of shit, you know what I'm saying? You're a corn. You're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're hiding, you're putting niggas in front of your beef. You're not really doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it was, I mean, it was cool that they let your crew exist. You know what I'm saying? Because, they wasn't looking for trouble. You know what I'm saying? They, it was
they kind of just,
rock,
they were just like, they let our little thing, but that little crew, right? When I got jumped by some cats, right? And they came and they, like we wear colors, we have beads and stuff. So these cats popped my beads, and
Oh.
I went and I was like, well, I tried to fight him, and
Yeah,
the
you're
same thing happened.
supposed to fight him.
I tried to fight him, and he jumped me and pulled a gun out on me, put a blade on my face, and I couldn't do nothing. I had to take it at that point. Like slap me up. I said, what you gonna do? Pop, pop, slap me up, pop the beads, and I couldn't do nothing about it at that point because I'm gonna get stabbed, I'm gonna get shot, or I'm gonna get slashed. And when I went to the cats, I was like, yo, man, these guys jumped me. Let's go get them. They're like, nah, man, we ain't messing with that dude. So I was like, you know what, man? I was like, you know what, man? Dead this. I didn't have nothing to do with them after that. I was like, what's the point of, you're backing people up, but they're not backing you up,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
I had a very what we used to call him. Well, I had a chapter leader come up to me for a certain set, right? And he was like, "Yo, I heard you've been hanging out with certain people, and I heard you went out there and did some things with these guys." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." He said, "Come here. Let me tell you something." He's like, "Yeah." Slap me. I just looked at him.
What?
I'm gonna tell you. He's like, and I look at him like, "Yo, what's up, man?" Slap me. And he said, "You ain't like those guys. You're not that. I know your mother. You go to school."
Oh, you got sons. Yeah.
He said,
Yeah. See, that's the
"You
difference
go to
between the
school."
90s and today, though. Because in the 90s, everybody's gonna raise you. If you're older, like my age, I ain't gonna let no, you know what I'm saying, of my age, will not let a child run around and do stupid shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Back in the 90s, like, no, that was not happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fucking pull you by your fucking face, and I'm gonna tell your mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, back
this
in the
dude,
days, man,
yo,
yeah,
he
that's how
told
hood
me.
love.
He said, if I ever find out that you hanging out with this individual again, if I ever find out you riding with him up to where we go, or you go and mess with those guys again, if I find out any of that stuff, I'm gonna green light you. I'm gonna get your butt whooped. He used different language, but I'm gonna get your ass kicked, Angel. You feel me? And I'm looking, I'm like, yo, I thought you'd be proud of me, man. I helped you, I helped your boy out. He's like, nah, why he's going to you? He comes to me. I'm the chapter leader, and he got to come talk to me. Why he's coming to you? You ain't down. You ain't, why you involved? And you go to school. You stay your ass in school. You stay your ass in line. If I find out, and he's like, I'm gonna get you hurt.
Probably saved your life,
Yo,
bro.
that's what I was gonna finish with. I credit this guy with one of the people that probably saved my life, and he's dead today. He's dead. Yeah, he died, man. I mean, I don't know, the details are murky. I got conflicting information, but he ain't here no more, man. So
he got killed though, or he?
I heard he got sick. I heard he got, he got shot. I heard different stories, so I don't know what's the truth.
Yeah,
It's probably somewhere in the middle.
Rest in peace to him, man. Rest in peace to him, dog. Porque te salvó la vida, oíste. He saved your fucking life, bro.
I credit. There's certain people I credit with probably having saved me, and that's definitely one of the cats that, because there's areas in the Bronx right now I still can't walk through, because if they recognize me, probably wouldn't be good for me.
Wow, you said I'm from West Farms.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Davie, you know what I'm saying? And then I moved to West Farms, you know what I'm saying, like later on, rooming with my cousins and shit, you know what I'm saying, for mad years. And in and out of West Farms, mad years. You know what I'm saying? I had a problem with a girl, okay, I bet. I'm moving out, going back to my family house. Shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
West Farms is home.
Yeah. I had a girlfriend out there, man, for a little while. I want to say the very first year of high school. Yeah, she lived in West Farms. I came out to see her a few times, but we were kids, like young kids at the time. But damn, bro, I never forget that cat, man. He certainly, I mean, at the time I wasn't happy with him because I thought he'd be proud of me for helping out his peoples. But now in hindsight, I look back, I'm like, yo, this dude probably saved my life, because the next step was that I start getting initiated and start you know, end up, you know, becoming a member. You know, my man would have went and say, yo, this guy did this for me. He came out and, you know,
He knows your mother though also. That's also another kind of respect. He doesn't want her to look at him like he's a piece of shit because you wanted to join. Like, you know what I'm saying? He don't want problems like that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? He probably
It's
was
like you
mad
said,
for
it's
your
hood
mom.
love. It's what you said, hood love. You know, the respect
That
of
hood
the,
love,
you
yeah.
know,
That's the hood love. That's the hood love that we missing now. You know what I'm saying? We're
yeah,
not checking kids like back in the days. Everybody's scared of kids. Everybody's
yeah,
scared
it's
of a little
true.
14, 15-year-old with a gun. You just smack the shit out of him, disarm him. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's another thing, man. The issue is a lot of people want to join these things, man, but a lot of people don't got no training. Like, yo, bro, like, go and train yourself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
But if you
mean,
get training, you probably won't feel you even need that anymore because you develop that
exactly.
discipline, that
Exactly.
self-confidence. People do that. Well, people do that for protection. They do it for protection. They do it for a feeling of love and family. But if you got like a martial arts dojo where you train and you start to form bonds, and say you don't have a father in the household, you start to look at your sensei towards guidance. All those things that
Yeah,
are missing will be filled, you know, and you don't need to
exactly.
get them in that type of a way, you
And then
know.
you create your
Yeah.
own little Cobra Kai and shit. You know what I'm saying? Your own
Yeah.
team of fuck
Yo, you
niggas.
see that shit, yo? Have you seen it? You
I was
watched that?
watching that shit since it was on YouTube. I done seen that shit every
Ah,
yeah. I done seen that shit before everybody. I was giving
yeah.
everybody my YouTube password just so that they could watch it.
Nice,
You know what I'm
nice.
saying?
Yeah.
Like my
So
cast.
YouTube Red, right? Like that's what it was on.
Yeah, it was on YouTube
Yeah,
Red at first. Yeah, people. Yeah, everybody's like, oh, it's on Netflix. I'm like, okay, I saw
yeah.
both
So I've been saw
already. I'm
that.
waiting on season 3 right now. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
word. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
That shit was dope, man.
I love the
That
fact that we have new characters on there. Like they have new characters on there. I love the fact that, you know what I'm saying, there's Latinos there, there's white people there, there's black
yeah,
people there. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the fact that Aisha, you know what I'm saying, which is the black girl, she gets
yeah,
bullied for being fat and now she's fucking shit up. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like I
Yo,
love that. You know
I
what I'm
heard
saying?
they wrote her out of season 3 though, man. I was kind of upset with that, man. I heard they wrote her
Really?
out that they didn't have a spot for her. Yeah, man. I,
Why?
she wasn't fitting in with the storyline, but that's whack, man. I thought she was one of the main characters, man.
I thought she's one of the yeah, she's the girl. She's the first girl of Cobra Kai, man. I mean,
Yeah.
but we don't know, to be honest with you, we don't know until we watch it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I hope they keep her, man, because she was important, man. But I think she had tweeted out something that she got fired or something, but I wasn't happy to hear that, man, because
Oh, she got
you know,
fired? Well,
yeah,
fired is different, man. That means you did something fucked up.
could be. I don't know the full 100% story on that, but I really hope that whatever happened, they sort that out and they bring her back because I like her, man. I like her in the character,
Yeah, I
you
like the
know.
character too, man. I liked it.
Like
It
they
made a
could
lot
have
of
done a
sense
lot with her.
for
They could have
people.
done a lot, you
Yeah, they
know.
could have. They could have, man.
She's so key in the whole. I mean, she was friends with Sam. Then she started being friends with the bullies, and she was bullied. And that whole story, they could have done so much with her, man.
Oh
Like,
man, oh yeah, man, oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely, Miss Robinson. Yeah, that's what he's called. That's the sensei he's called, Miss Robinson. He was ready.
yeah,
I
I hope.
mean, let's see what happens though. We don't. I mean, we don't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm really hoping. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, everybody from the original cast is still there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it would
Yeah,
suck
yeah,
if she's gone, but they gotta make it sense if she's gonna leave. They gotta make it make sense.
yeah. She can't just be gone. Oh, she moved. You know, after the fight, she moved to
After
Atlanta
the
or
fight, she
something.
moved.
You know, come up
That
with
would
some
make sense.
bullshit like
That would
that.
make a
But
little sense, though. That would make sense that her parents, you know what I'm saying, like
yeah,
moved her out of the school because it was crazy. You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And
Dudes
she had
throwing
no
each other
control.
off of, falling off of balconies and, like railings and stuff. Yeah, it's like, we had to move, man. This this area was getting too wild. you know. So I hope they
I
keep
wonder
her
what's to
though.
become of Hawk. I wonder what's to become of Hawk. I know Hawk is
Yeah,
gonna
man.
be he's gonna be fucking shit up. I know I have a feeling that Robbie is going to be in jail fucking shit up.
Yeah, he's kind of responsible for somebody potentially losing their life. So they probably got to
He's gonna
lock
go to
him up.
jail. I
They
mean,
got.
realistically, they have to put him in jail, bro.
Yeah,
He can't just be out.
yeah, yeah.
Realistically, you know what I'm saying? That's
That's
attempted. That they can
yeah,
smack him with attempted murder. They can smack him with assault. You know what I'm saying? They can smack him with different charges in real life. So why not do it over there? Make him in the prison system. Everybody trying to bitch him, and sporadic.
Well,
He's fucking some shit up. He's
that
getting
whole that
jumped.
whole story arc could be a whole other thing. Those dudes that he was rolling with, those punks that were stealing purses, they could be in jail, and they're his nemesis in jail. Yo, they could do a whole.
Yo, they could try to shank him when he's in. Oh my
You know,
God, that's
they could
crazy.
do a whole thing
They
on
could
that,
do a
man.
whole thing with that. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's facts. That's
I don't know how
facts.
they're gonna play that out, man. Like I don't know. We'll see what they do, man. But
Let's see, man. I'm not the writer for this, so you know what I'm saying. Like, let's see. I can't wait. I'm be
I'm
honest with you,
excited,
man.
man. I'm excited for that, man. I mean, my son, my wife, we all into it, man. Like there's all
Yeah, that's what I'm
it
saying.
was
It's well, that's the shit, man. That show is the shit.
yeah,
It's
man.
like it's one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even watch TV, bro. I just watch but when I'll watch that and Wu-Tang. That's it. That's another show I want to watch.
Wu-Tang. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
You
Yeah,
never
no.
seen Wu-Tang the Saga? Oh, you missing out. It's on Hulu. You better start watching it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
You better start
Wu-Tang.
watching it, man. Because I think this is on season 1. You got time? Catch up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, catch up. Because right now, you know what I'm saying, I don't even know what they're gonna be doing with season 2.
Wu-Tang.
But I know they're
What's it
working on
about?
something.
What's the premise like?
It's about Staten Island and Shaolin, the location of the Wu Tang and the formation of the Wu Tang. You know
Okay,
what I'm saying? And what made them them? What
It's
made
based on
them?
real stuff, like real stories, not like
Yeah,
drama,
no, it's
whatever.
not
It's
made up
real.
shit. It's not made up shit. It's a lot of it is real. I even Googled some of the shit. Like, oh shit, a lot
Uh,
of it is real. That whole Eric Garner shit happened. I'll give you a spoiler. The whole Eric Garner shit with the choking out happened to another person named Case in real life before it happened to Eric Garner. They were doing this kind of shit a long time ago. They just showing it. They
yeah.
just said that because he was one of the suppliers of the block, and he was a good
Mm,
guy. He was in the military. Came out of the military. He got some money up. You know what I'm saying? He started hustling. He just started putting people on to work, and eventually, there was also this other cop who grew up on the block, and you know what I'm saying? Even though he's doing the right thing, right? He's doing the right thing, but he has this fucked up mentality. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has this gang mentality. Oh, I run these streets.
wow.
And this motherfucker's like, what the fuck? You went to school, you went to fucking, when you went to the army, but I did too. And you know what I'm saying? The only real nigga out here is me. Because I'm taking care of my community. You're not doing shit. Long story short, you know what I'm saying? It was that kind of jibber jabber back and forth that made the cop kill him.
Wow. It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy, man. That's like real life. That's real life shit. I fucking googled it. I'm like, oh shit, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's choking him out, right? And mind you, was a black cop. So
Mm,
while he's choking him out, he's like, I run the streets. He kills him right then and there, and
yeah.
he gets away with it because he's a cop. It's crazy. Life
Yeah.
life teaches you a lot of lessons, man. There's good people and bad people in every spectrum. Yin and yang, bro. Everything has to balance out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, look at that gang member who set me straight. You know,
Yeah.
he's in a gang. I mean, I don't know what he did back then. I wasn't really privy to what he did, but he was a high ranking guy, and I mean, you become a
Respect
high
the shit
ranking
out
guy
of you.
by
Make sure you was getting your ass to school.
yeah, man. He said you're not gonna do what I do, man. You're not gonna be, and I respect him for that now. Definitely, at the time I was kind of like I felt dissed, like I felt kind of like
Yeah,
this
I
cat,
know.
dissed me and stuff, but. In hindsight, it didn't take long for me to realize it either. Back then, I was kind of like, you know what, I'm glad that I didn't get involved because the commitments and the things you have to do and stuff. It's just,
Oh yeah, man. I got my own stories about these things, but I really don't want to divulge that information
yeah,
out here. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I
Out of
feel you.
respect to the people who have actually been there for me. But you know what I'm saying? I've gotten my own, I
Yeah.
got my own opportunities that I kind of like, didn't really want to, join. But yeah, I wanted to, use people to my advantage, you know what I'm saying? Just because of their power. Like, I was that kid once too, so I know what it's like, you know what I'm saying, to want to put people in front of your beef. It's not, you know, it's not cool. It's not cool. It's not honorable. It's not the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's not the right thing to do. You know, life teaches you these lessons, you know, so you could be a better man and better person and educate others on, you know, look at shit in hindsight, not to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
teach
that's what
others.
we do now as older, older people, like to try to educate the young people. But it's hard, man. It's hard because a lot of they won't listen. I mean, certainly not me. Right now, I'm like, I think I'm perceived by the world as like a middle-aged blanquito. Like all my shit from my background, that shit done. Nobody, you if you ran into me in the street, you saw me walking around or whatever, you would have no idea where I come from, what I've seen, what I've,
Right.
the world doesn't look at me. So I went to talk to kids one time, and I went to Harlem, and when I walked in there, they looked at me and they started laughing, man. Yo, they started laughing because they were like, "What's
Wow.
this? What's this white boy gonna tell us? What's he gonna tell?" And they started laughing at me, man. And I ain't gonna lie, man. I felt like walking out, man. I was embarrassed, man. I was like, "Yo, how can I relate to these guys? They're not, So it was like like the two Puerto Rican kids, three black kids, Dominican kid, all young guys who were just getting out of like the juvie, and they were,
Yeah,
So
damn
I
right.
was
They
going,
will be laughing. I'll be laughing at you too if I was one of those kids.
yo, they
What
were
the fuck?
laughing, they were laughing. So what I did was like, I was like, let me try this. I got up and I started spitting bars. So I
Right.
took one of my like my street joints. I try and rise, look how they pushing me down. I try to run away, they quickly surround. And I started spitting the bars, and all of a sudden they stopped laughing, and they started like got serious and started hearing my, you know,
Listen, yeah.
you know. And by the time I finished my verse, I just sat down. I didn't say anything. I didn't introduce myself. I just walked in. They started laughing. And I kind of thought about it, and the guy was like, the dude who ran the program, he was like, "This is Angel," and they're like, "Angel," and they're laughing, and he just said, "Over to you, Angel." And I was like, "Do I go like, hi guys, oh, I'm Angel?" I said, "Man, fuck." I try and rise, look how they pushing me down, and I got in his space, like I came in and I got right in their face, like I try and rise, look how they pushing me down. I try to run away, they quickly surround. Nowhere to go. They got me trapped, and it seems my days may end. I can hardly believe. And I just went in. And by the time I finished, he was like, "Yo, what the hell?" And we
That
started
was good.
talking. That was
That
my
was
way to
good.
kind of get through to them.
Broke the
You
ice.
know,
You broke the ice. You kicked some knowledge. Yeah. I
you
mean, I
know.
remember I was in juvie, man. Oh man, I was in a juvenile detention center in Bartow, Florida. Not gonna lie, it was fun. It wasn't even. It was
Word.
fun. I'm not gonna lie. It was. What's crazy is that I didn't even make friends in school, but I made friends in there.
Mm,
Crazy, yeah, crazy. But I mean, what I'm saying? Of course, we're all kids. You know what I'm saying? We're all
yeah.
trying to figure life out. You know, and then I mean, and some of these kids had a lot of home shit that was fucked up, mental issues. They were mentally fucked up too, and they were always trying to fight the COs, and the COs were very abusive towards us as kids. They're kids. Well, why you kicking a 14-year-old in the balls?
Damn. Word.
Yeah, I saw a lot of shit, man. That was one brave motherfucker who went and fucking. He was shackled. He was shackled right here and his feet, and he jumped and he fucking kicked, bro. Boom! Kicked the cop in the chest, and he fell on
Oh
the floor.
shit.
That motherfucker
Wow.
was. I was like, yo, we're giving that
Damn.
motherfucker props, man. A Florida kid too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like it was
Huh.
crazy, man. I mean, we found it
Damn.
so. That's the thing, though. We found it so entertaining. And then when we would get locked up, right? We'll go in a van, right? They'll transport us like for court and shit. We'll go to in a van, and the girls will be in front and guys will be in the back, and the girls will try to give us their phone numbers. Like if a girl, there was a white girl who liked me, right? And
Yeah.
one of the guys is like, "Yo, white girl like you." You know what I'm saying? And I was a big time. I'm from New York. I was a big time shit talker over there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been tested over there. Well, I was a big time shit talker. Well, I was a kid, and I guess the girl liked it, and the girl was some white girl. She was giving me her phone number. She was giving me her phone number, like telling me her phone number, and I had to try to memorize that shit. So when I get out, I could call her. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
wild, man.
it was crazy, man. I mean, I had some good times though, man. It wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we watched TV. You know what I'm saying? If anybody changes the
Was it?
channel,
You think? You think? You think Juvie was like real jail in the sense of how it functions, like adult jail, or it was different? Like,
no, I mean, at that time, I wasn't scared, but I was very cautious because like we didn't have bars, right? But we had rooms with a lock in it. And so you were and the at that time like the seats were, I mean, not the seats, the beds, they weren't like comfortable beds. They were actually made of cement, and you had to put a mat, like a little thin ass mattress over it. You know what I'm
hmm.
saying? So, they try to make you feel as uncomfortable as possible, and
So
to
you don't want
eat
to come
before you.
back there. Keep you from
Yeah,
wanting
I
to
got
come
off on
back.
good behavior, thankfully, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, then, I mean, you had really, the kids didn't start the trouble, believe it or not. Kids didn't start the trouble, man. It was the COs, man, fucking the kids up.
Wow, that's
You know what I'm
crazy,
saying?
man.
Yes, I always had to keep my head down. Keep my head down, mind my business. I was a kid myself. You know what I'm saying? I was like
Yeah.
16, 17. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't tried as an adult. It was a domestic situation. And so, I was, what I'm saying? I just kept my head down, you know what I'm saying? Just did what I was told, but then they would make kids take pills too. And I'm talking about kids
Oh,
younger than me. So I'm chilling, I'm in there with like a bunch of 14-year-olds, 15-year-old brats. And, like there was one kid who exclusively was like, he was like excluded from everything because I think he tried to make a bomb. He got locked up for that.
holy shit,
Those white kid with
yo,
glasses, bro, nerd motherfucker. Yeah,
that's
and he was
that's the
always
most
angry all
dangerous
the
dude,
time. He
man.
was bullheaded, he was angry all the time.
That's the
He was
most
like
dangerous
a
cat,
young Walter
man.
White. That
Yeah.
motherfucker tried to make a bomb, and then I had another friend in there. His name was Michael Johnson, and he was he was this is crazy. He was a KKK member. He was a neo-Nazi kid.
Wow, shit.
He converted
So,
to Christianity in jail. I guess that was so that he won't get his ass beat by a bunch of black kids. But he was a really cool guy, though. Nobody really bothered him. He was always to himself, and he was always try to tell people about Jesus. Ain't nobody was trying to hear that shit. You know,
yeah.
only some of the Christian kids in there, like if they grew up in Christianity and they happen to be black, then they will let him rock because okay, all right, he's Christian. I mean, we're young. Our judgments is a little clouded. All of us are. So
Yeah.
he got locked up because he kidnapped him and some of his KKK friends kidnapped a black girl, and they
Jesus.
slit. She was sucking his dick, and they slit her throat.
What the fuck, man? Yo, that's
Yeah, so
some
he's doing time for that. Yo, those people, there was some little, I'm
holy
talking about
shit. They
kids,
killed
kids
her
younger
or
than me.
like did she like
They killed her. He didn't
holy
kill her
shit.
though. So when he told
Holy
us,
shit.
we were laughing. I was laughing too. But then he got mad. He was really serious. I thought he was making it up. And he looked
Yeah,
at
that
me
shit
like,
doesn't sound real, man. Like
he
Jesus.
said, he looked at me like there was blood on my dick, dog. I was like,
Wow.
whoa.
The fuck, man.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, man.
but he ended up doing time for that. Yeah, man, he ended up doing, even though he didn't do the killing. He was
Oh,
the
he's still
participant.
yeah, he's still gonna get you on that. Plus you kidnapping a fucking whole human being. It's a race fucking Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
the
man.
hate crime. Yeah, and
Fuck,
in
man.
Florida, I never saw racism in my life until I moved to Florida for a little while. I only stood there for 3 months. I was like, get me out of here. I don't want to be here. You got Mexicans
Yeah.
beefing with me, little Mexican Juvie, little Mexican kids wanting to beef with me. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, it's fake jail, right? It's little kids jail, but it's like it fucks with your mental, man. If you're not careful, because these kids eventually graduate and become real criminals.
Right. They grow
You
up.
know what I'm saying? Yeah,
They grow up.
look, I'm facing my own dilemma with the law right now that I really can't even talk about because
Right, right.
it's a federal charge. But you know what I'm saying? But I stood out of trouble for a long time. Imagine these kids. You know what I'm saying? They probably just went back in there later on, or they probably got a road charge, stood in juvie till they were 18, to then get moved to regular jail. You know what I'm saying? There was one in there. There was a guy in there who was an Arabic guy. He was like 19, and they were gonna move him, graduate him to. He was gonna graduate. I mean, the system is
that is
horrible,
crazy,
man. The
man.
system is horrible. Down south, it's horrible. I mean, even up here is horrible. You know what I'm saying? But that's I mean, I got to see reality for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I got to see reality for a little bit.
Shit
You
is
know,
wild, man.
and then
Fucking slitting
I
throats and
realized
shit.
that
Jesus.
all the kids that behaved bad out there, they actually behaved good in. But it wasn't them that was starting the problems, man. You had grown ass adults picking on kids, man. You know what I'm saying? And we all was kind of scared. We had to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we were grown men, big fucking brolic ass men, smacking kids up. You know what I'm saying? Forcing them to take medication, throwing them in. If he don't want to take a bath, there's no option. The motherfucker would throw you in the bathtub, spray water on you with your clothes on. It was crazy. Yeah, man. I was like, wow, man. I ain't
How
coming
you
back
gonna?
here again.
That shit ain't no reform, man. You're not gonna rehabilitate anybody like that. You're
Especially a
gonna
child. You know?
no,
Yeah.
you're gonna traumatize them. You're gonna make them angry. You're gonna make them more dangerous. You know,
Yeah, man.
that's a big problem with our prison system in the United States, man. We and don't get me wrong, man. If somebody does some fucked up shit, they deserve to get locked up. In my opinion, they need to be
Right.
punished for that shit. But at the
Right.
same time, you don't want to take I don't know, let's say, I don't know, I get into a fight, I break someone's nose, I pound the shit out of them, and I go above what I was supposed to do and I really hurt them and they lock me up for a year. I ain't never done a crime, I ain't never done anything, but now you throw my ass in prison, right? With the exception of that one event, I've never done anything. But now I'm
Right.
gonna go in there, and now to survive, I'm gonna have to do shit just to survive.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna go in there, and you probably come out worse than you went in. You take a good person who had a fight, and they just beat someone's ass for whatever reason. They snap your wife's butt, whatever. You beat his ass. Now you get locked up. You go to prison, and they say, "Yo, you got to put in work." And if you don't, you're in trouble. So what do you do? Like I mean, I ain't never been to prison. I've read like documentaries of, like story. It's all I got in terms of knowledge. But one of the things that I often see and that I've read is that you ain't just gonna go in there and do your own thing. You're gonna have to rep your race or whatever. Is one of the things I saw a lot in there. So from my reading,
Right.
my knowledge research, right? I have no real fucking experience in that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we
You
don't
know,
really know. I mean, I'm grateful for the fact that, you know what I'm saying, I never went to jail as an adult, even though I have criminal charges pending. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's I hopefully, I won't be able to face that situation and come back out and tell you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But,
yeah,
I mean, the thing is that, you know, life is just full of decisions eventually, man. And eventually, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to make the decision that's right for you. Whether it's a good or a bad decision, you're going to have to figure out what benefits you the most, what's going to preserve you the most. And that's
mm,
what, that's what that's what I'm scared of facing. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people were scared of facing. Like when they fear the unknown, whether they want to admit it or not. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
then I mean, and then in the beginning you may be scared, but then afterwards, you know what I'm saying? Just like training, just like knowledge, right? The more you do a technique, the more you're gonna understand and learn it, the more you're gonna be able to execute it, right? So it's like throwing your body in cold water, right? I'll take cold showers. You throw your body in water. You know what I'm saying? At first it's gonna shock you, but after a
Mm,
while the cold shower is really gonna feel nothing. Oh, this shit ain't even cold enough.
yeah,
It's gonna be the same thing. It's the same thing with everybody, bro. It's just humans are made to adapt.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Humans are made to
adapt, or
adapt.
you adapt to survive.
Yeah.
That's it. No matter what your situation, you adapt to survive. I mean, I
Yeah.
I somehow survived that shit. I mean, I think back on the situations I was in and all the things I experienced growing up, and I don't know how I handled it, but I survived.
Right, that's what
You
I'm
know,
saying.
I
We're gonna
survived. I
be
made,
able, yeah. I mean,
you know.
everybody. I think everybody has the capability of surviving. No excuse, man. You got the motherfucker doing 25 right now in there, just probably reading books as an old man, trying to, figure his life out from there. Now we all adapt as human beings, man. It's either sink or swim. We're natural swimmers. We're mammals.
Mm,
We're natural swimmers scientifically. We're supposed to learn how to swim. You know what I'm saying? Just like,
mm.
men are supposed to learn how to drive, we're supposed to learn how to swim. You know what I'm saying? It's,
There's a lot of that stuff is I mean everybody handles shit differently. I went when I went through boot camp, I had in the military, that's the closest I've
yeah,
come
you
to
went
that
to,
type of,
yeah.
and that shit I gotta be honest, man, in the beginning it was really fucking my head, man. Like I was like you know, I was one of them dudes in that first 2 weeks that was like, I want to fucking die, man. I want to fucking die. Like I didn't want to be there, man. Like I couldn't, in fact, they sent me to like the mental health platoon,
No
because
way.
because I was tripping in the beginning, and I kind of like it came a point when I was in the mental health side where it clicked in my head, like the quickest way for me to get out of here and to move on from this is to accept that I'm in this situation. I have no choice, and be the best at what it is. Like this thing just clicked in my head while I was over there with this was like the spot where all of us who were like emotionally unsafe had to be kept so they could watch us. And
Right.
while I was on that side, I kind of realized, I'm stuck here anyway. Why am I going to be here?
Yeah.
And I'm going to get a dishonorable discharge, and I'm going to have it's going to hurt my life where I could just finish this thing and just suck it up. And when it clicked in my head that, these are the circumstances, this is what it is, just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. And when that clicked, boot camp became fun for me. I didn't want to leave.
Yeah. Well, yo,
That was the
what
transition.
branch you was? What branch you were in? Were you
I
in
was
the
I was
military?
in I was in the Air Force. And
Oh,
it wasn't even the hardest boot camp either, right? It wasn't like Marine Corps boot camp, Army boot camp, but the Air Force didn't fuck with you so much physically, but they fucking went at your head. It was, they punish you with physical stuff, but it's not like the Marines that is like you're physically being wrecked. In
right.
addition, the Air Force was like with your head. Instead of doing push-ups, they will keep you up several nights in a row. They don't let you sleep. Sleep
Whoa,
deprivation,
that's crazy.
sleep
Oh my
deprivation
God, that's
fucks you up.
crazy. What?
That
I'll
message.
be angry at when I
Oh,
lose sleep, bro, I get so fucking angry.
oh. Now
Yo, my
imagine
God.
you have to be the whole time. You're like they would give him like dorm guard duty. So the whole night you're at the dorm. 3 a.m. he would come and bang on the door. Open up, and you're supposed to recite certain lines. Sir, dorm guard, dorm B3, how can I help you? Open the fucking door, you asshole! Open the door! Sir, dorm guard, dorm B3, how can I help you? I'm gonna fucking kill you! I'm gonna punish your whole platoon! Open the fucking door! If you open that door before he said what you're supposed to make him say, you'll be in such a deep world of shit. So
What
they're
you
trying to
supposed to
break.
tell him though?
I'm supposed to say, dorm guard, dorm B3, how can I help you? He's supposed to say, this is Sergeant so-and-so and present his ID. But he's trying to get me to open the door without him showing me his ID.
Oh
That's what he's
shit.
trying to do.
So
Now,
yeah,
after several
wow.
nights, they're trying to break you in that. So he'll come 4 in the morning the next night. The next night, 6 in the morning. You recognize me. You know who I am. Look at my face. I am going to beat you. And just screaming at you. And you're like, sir, dorm guard, dorm B3. And somebody will say, open the fucking door. Sir, dorm guard, dorm B3. Then there'll be like one drill instructor that's in the room with us. He will come to the door. He'll look at me. What's the problem here, Rodriguez? Sir, Sergeant DeFrillo is asking me for me to open the door, but he has not presented proper ID. Do you recognize this man? Yes, sir. Do you recognize me? Yes, sir. Open the fucking door. Sir, dorm guard, dorm B3. Trying to get you to open that door before he presented the ID. Now, I
I'm like,
never
fuck
broke.
you, I'm not opening the door. Give me ID.
I
Fuck
never
you.
broke. They never broke me on that shit. But that's the kind of shit they do to you, man. And in the beginning, I was like, I wasn't built for it, man. I was breaking. I was like collapsing. I was like, I'm gonna fucking hurt myself, man. You know, and they sent me to the mental health place because they thought I was a threat to myself, you know. But like I said, something clicked, and I went back. When I came back, they made me a squad leader. You know, well, in the Air Force, it's called flights or elements. I use the Army names because most people will understand them. So they made me a squad leader, which for us was a element. They made me an element leader, and then I became the academic monitor. I started to excel. Once I accepted that I was in there, I I just I just excelled, man. I was like I was a top in everything, man. You know, but
That's good.
initially before that change inside of me happened, I was falling apart, man. But once it clicked, then I didn't want to leave. I was so conditioned, you know. Shit, you could like it was like I was institutionalized, you know, like I was like everything was, I was just like a robot, man. It's crazy.
Wow. So hold on. So you know how to fly a plane? What you did over there?
Nah. So my
You
my
did the
my
controls and shit?
nah my Air Force my job was medical. I was more like you ever saw the show MASH? Yeah, you ever saw that
Old
MASH
school.
show?
Yeah, that's just old
So
school.
so that type of a unit was what my Air Force unit was. People are, they get hurt, they would bring them to us. We would kind of
Right.
triage them and fly them out to the hospital. We were a medical unit.
Mm,
Yeah. That was more like the area I was in, because the
right.
Air Force has pilots, but it's also got administration and
Right. Yeah.
all the other pieces that logistics. So I was in the medical side.
Right. Oh wow. Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's
man.
cool. That's fucking cool. Like you know what I'm saying? I mean, you seen people who's like with their legs blown off and shit.
I saw people with like crutches that were, so I didn't go to combat. So by the time I saw anybody, they were already stable. They were coming
Okay.
back, or so I saw people with the injuries, but not in the midst of receiving the injury.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. You just saw
I
people.
would,
Okay. You saw people healing from the injuries,
yeah,
but
when
you
they're
didn't see
kind
the
of
whole.
coming, yeah, I saw people
Wow.
coming back, missing limbs, with like back injuries, and it was wild. But I never was the time I was in, they never sent my unit to combat, so I never saw anything, anything like that.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right. I
man.
mean, from what years you was in the military during peacetime or during
Nine, 97. So I went to boot camp in 97, and I finished my entire tour at 2005.
Also,
So
you didn't go to Afghanistan?
no Afghanistan and no Iraq. We were towards the end of my 8 years. Well, at the time it was actually 6 years. The 6 years before I went into the inactive reserve, um, they were looking to deploy to Turkey to support
Oh,
the Middle East efforts and stuff. But my enlistment was up, so
oh, okay.
I didn't
Oh, so
re-enlist.
yeah, you just dodged it. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
you didn't re-enlist, right?
yeah,
You
no,
could
I
have if
didn't.
you wanted to or no?
I could have. I just I didn't agree with that war. So
Ah,
I didn't agree that we were doing the right thing, particularly in Iraq. You know,
right. They was just trying to
I
take the oil and shit.
yeah, I didn't agree with it. So it's actually a bit of a problem because they wanted me to stay, but I was like, I don't support this effort. I don't agree with this war. I don't think we belong in there. I was all criticizing Bush, and like I just I said, listen, if it's voluntarily, I'm not gonna reenlist. If you force me to, I will do my job. I will support my team. I will support my fellow airmen, but I will not reenlist willingly. Like I,
Oh wow, okay.
So they just, they threatened me, and they were like, we could force you to stay, and ultimately they just let me out because, like I said, I didn't I didn't feel justified in sending our guys over there to fight these people that pretty much had nothing to do with 9/11. And how many, how long did that go on? How many Americans got hurt? How many Iraqis got hurt? How many enemies did we make? It didn't make no sense to me, man.
No, if anything, something happened, something came out of it that was ISIS. So basically, they teamed up together to be like, yo,
Made
fuck
shit
the
worse.
US, let's just make our own shit. Yeah.
They destabilized the region and gave birth to ISIS. And how much damage did they do? You know, and not just to Iraq. I mean, all over. They just, we just destabilized the region. If anything, I understood Afghanistan more. If
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Bin Laden's hiding in the mountains or whatever, like I get it. We go in there and we try to find them. I get that. But I didn't think we had any business in Iraq, and that's where they wanted us to support the Iraq war. And I was
Right.
like, nah, I'm not with it, man.
Do you think that the Iraq War had to happen in order to weed out whoever was protecting Bin Laden to then go get Bin Laden? Or
Nah.
you think that we could have did that whole thing that Obama did, send over the SEAL team to jump on the roof and kill him from the beginning?
I don't think that Iraq had any bearing on that. I didn't think Iraq had any bearing on that. I think we went into Iraq, and I feel like there were other reasons for that. I don't know what the reality
What did
is,
they
but
Chappelle said? He tried to kill my father. He tried to kill my father.
I think Chappelle was probably closer to the truth than any
Oh
shit that
man,
any,
but it's the truth, man. He said, yeah, I think
yeah,
that's what happened. I
yeah.
think that's what happened. You know
They try to kill my father, son. I'm going
what I'm
in, yeah, man. So I didn't agree with that. I didn't necessarily agree with Afghanistan, but I understood that a little more.
Yeah, no, I understood it
I
a little. I understood
understood
it a
that,
lot more.
like,
Especially when as a kid I used to my mother was a chaplain. I think she still is. But we used to she used to go to the 9/11 efforts. You know what I'm saying? Like to I guess to give donuts and coffee to the police and firefighters. And
mm,
as a little kid, I would go with her. And yo, I'm telling you, man, that shit looked like a whole nother world.
yeah,
Yo, that shit looked like a whole nother world, yo. Like everything was just like, yo, it was just dust and just like
yeah,
broken.
man. She was
Everything was
wild,
just
man.
broken. Yeah.
I
I was like,
think,
whoa.
I think we could have gotten Bin Laden without having to invade two countries. That's the bottom line. You know, I think we
Yeah.
could have gotten him without having to invade two countries, and so much damage was done to them and to us. Just both
Yeah.
sides, and at the end of it, we didn't even resolve the problem. The problem still exists. Still terrorism out there, and still we probably
Yeah,
gave
man.
birth to another group, and so that's why I got out, because I didn't want to be a part of that.
It made no
Like,
sense to you. Yeah,
you
it made
know,
no sense to you.
nah, man. If you, you know, these wars, man. The thing, I don't trust the government. I've never trusted the government in terms of, But here's what I will say: if we're here at home right now, right, and I don't know. I don't even want to name a country, but a country starts to come into our country to invade us. I will put on my uniform and fight.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
I will put on my uniform and fight to protect our country, our home. But I'm not in the business, or I don't support going into other countries and invading them. You know,
Yeah.
and in the countries that we should do that shit, where people are being slaughtered for no reason and people are being killed and raped, and we don't do it. We only do it when it's in our interest for us to gain something. I'm just not with that, man. You know, I'm
I
just
see.
I, I'm just
I
not
see. I
with
mean,
it.
it makes the economy run. That's why they do it.
Oh,
You
it's
know what
all
I'm saying?
about
I
money,
mean,
man. It's all about
yeah, it's
money.
all
It's all
about money.
about,
Geraldo Rivera said it, man. That's when he got fired. He said all governments lie.
for sure. And
Yeah.
anybody who can't admit that is just, they're just dishonest. I don't trust the Democrats any more than I trust the
Me
Republicans.
neither. Everybody's
Yeah.
everybody's like Joe Biden this, Joe Biden that. Like
Nah, man.
I don't
Yo,
trust him either. I don't trust
no.
nobody. You know what is crazy? I'm about to vote for the Green Party this year, or for the Libertarian Party. If
I
one of
did
those
last
fucking
year.
people that
Yeah,
nobody fucking gives a shit about that's on the shit, I'm gonna vote
I
for
did
that. 'Cause
that
you know
last year.
that
Third
motherfucker.
party, right? You know,
Yeah, that
I did that last year. I'm not gonna do it this year. This election, but I'm sorry, not last year. I did it the last election. I mean, I voted for Jill Stein. I didn't vote for Hillary. I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Jill Stein. This year, this election, I think my vote counts a little more and it's a little riskier. So
right.
reluctantly, I'm gonna vote for Biden. But it's not because I like him. It's not because I trust him. It's just because I want to get this crazy fucker out. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk to someone tonight who's a Latino Trump supporter. Get that, man. So I'm interested to see what this freaking guy has to say.
I mean, that you'd be surprised. There's a lot of them. And you know what's
Yeah.
crazy? In the beginning, I wanted Trump to win only because I just thought it would be funny. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, a lot of us thought that shit. We were
and,
like,
and then I see like what's going on. I'm like, whoa.
yeah, this ain't funny. Like, yeah,
It gets a little. It gets a little. Look, man, I respect him because he's a New Yorker, right? He's a New Yorker that did it. But at the same time,
he ain't repping New
I
York,
can't
man.
respect.
He-
I
you
can't
know,
respect anything that he does. Yeah, he is. But he's not representing our New York. You gotta understand, New York is
right.
a tale of two cities.
Well, you're right. You're right. You are
You know what
right.
I'm
That's
saying?
true. You're right.
He's representing the people that take the train with us. That when they see us, they hold their purses and they move on to the next
You're
bench.
right. You're right. You're
The
right.
ones with the shirt and tie that they talk after work and shit, or they get drunk in the middle of the night and fucking in the Lower East Side. You know what I'm saying? Take the yellow taxis. He's
Tale of two
representing these
cities. You're
guys.
right.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So I mean, the thing is that I it sucks because it's like when we wanted him to win, like some of us, like idiots like myself, who really wanted him to win just because it was funny, like we thought like it would be so fucking entertaining. You know what I'm saying? This guy says whatever the fuck he wants. He's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck if you don't like. I don't give a fuck if you didn't like us Puerto Ricans. It don't matter. This is funny. I want to see the shit. But
Yeah, you want
then,
to see how it plays out, and then yeah.
yeah, it's like watching TV because it's like watching WWE. It's like watching wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't. You know what I'm saying? You don't. To be honest with you, for a long time, I thought politics was fake. I still think it is in some
Oh,
ways. It's fake. It's like rigged or something. But it's just too. It's just way too much for way too much nonsense for it to be true. But then I saw the protests, and I saw the reenactments of the road Trump supporters. Not people like myself who just wanted to, get a good laugh.
well,
I'm
yeah,
talking
you
about
kind of
motherfuckers that's telling you go back to your fucking country. I'm
yeah.
talking about I'm in Kansas City and I got these fucking rednecks looking at me up and down like with a fucking pickup truck with a Trump sign on it. Like I'm talking about like I'm like, yo, this shit is real? You know what I'm saying? Then
I
I see
thought
the
this shit was just gonna
protests.
be funny, and
Yeah,
yeah,
then I saw the development of Black Lives Matter. And then I saw, you know what I'm saying, like just the fact that people there was a point after that man died, that man that got killed by the cops, that they kneeled on his neck.
yeah.
There
George
was a point
Floyd.
that the whole fucking country was divided. I thought this shit was gonna be a war. Unfortunately, the protest became nothing but a protest, but riots. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't what I expected it to be or wanted it to be. You know what I'm saying? Which is, a real revolution. It was just all about looting and getting money and try to maybe hurt the economy, but nothing real, nothing like the Wild Wild West. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, yeah, I tell you, man. I, I, I think at some point in the not too distant future, this country is gonna go to civil war, man. It's that divided at this point, and whether Trump wins or whether Joe Biden wins, I don't see how there's any reconciliation between the division at this point. It's just gonna have to. It's just gonna keep bubbling, and then at some point pop. And a thing I tell to people a lot, especially the left wing people, the Democrats, is like, I was a right winger for a while, so I've been out to West Virginia. I've been out to the compounds. These people are prepared. And if we're talking about a civil war, like a war where it becomes like for real, the left is not prepared. First of all, the left is all anti-gun. You know, how are you going to fight guys who have helicopters, guns, and they are trained and equipped, well trained and equipped to go to war?
Yeah.
How are you going to fight them with? You can't fight them with signs. These motherfuckers will.
Can't fight them. They will shoot. Yeah, it gets crazy. It gets crazy to the point that when FBI knocked on my fucking door, bro, they went and they pulled out fucking like. Nah, those little guns I'm talking about. They pulled out these. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, whoa, motherfucker pulled out a gun on my cousin thinking it was me. I was like, no.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? Like, take me, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's when I realized that, yo, this anti-government shit. Like, yo, like, there's no militia. We don't. Okay, in the Second Amendment of the Constitution, we have the right to organize a militia. Why hasn't the left organized one already? Because they're trying to take away, the right is trying to take away, you know what I'm saying? It's trying to take away certain rights. But then the left is trying to take away certain rights too, trying to take away the guns. It doesn't make any sense to me, man. It doesn't make any sense to me.
But the thing is, the right has all the guns. So how are you gonna fight that? You know, that's why I tell people like listen, man, I'm registered as a Democrat now, but I got my guns. I got my guns, you know. I exercise my Second Amendment right. I got a permit and I got my guns because
you're able to get one in New York because of your military experience, right?
Well, most people can get them in New York, but you gotta apply for it. You gotta go through a background check. It's a very very strict process, you know. But I can't carry it though. It's only for home.
Right.
I only keep it at home. I can't carry it in the street, but you know, I could defend my home. And you know, I mean,
right. I mean, that's why I moved to Jersey. Jersey's more lenient. Yo, no lie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm getting my shit too, hopefully. But since if I got criminal charges pending, you know what I'm saying? I gotta wait till the shit goes down.
Yeah, you gotta sort all that. Yeah, you gotta sort all that because
because there's ranges and shit. Like, it's a gun-friendly state. Jersey's a gun-friendly state. There's rules, but it's gun-friendly. You know what I'm saying?
I have a friend who owns a place out there. It's called Gun for Hire. Gun for Hire is a spot out in I think it's Wildwood. Wildwood, you know. Deep. It's a big fucking 15 minutes from New York. Maybe I'm giving you the wrong information, but it's 15 minutes from New York, and it's a dope ass range, man. I went out there and you know, he has all kinds of stuff, but you know, I mean, my whole thing with that is I have all these like leftist friends that we're gonna take down the right, and we're gonna. Well, how are you gonna do that? They got all the guns. You know, how are you gonna do that? If it comes down to it, where it's a real fight, you know, that's just bad business, man. I know.
But then this is what makes me take politics a little more seriously than I used to, because now I got to start voting for the legislative branch. I got to know who's running for Congress, who they are, you know. And then I actually have a fellow artist, an acquaintance. Like, he's a pretty cool person. I would even say he's a friend of mine. That he's mayor of Peekskill in Noodle New. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, I mean, that makes me, you know, and he really wants change because he used to even rap about it when he was a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, I mean,
what's the name?
You know. His name is Noodle. Andre Rainey.
Andre Rainey. Look him up. See what that's about.
Noodle. Yeah, Noodle. Yeah, man. Always rapped about politics and shit like that when he first started. I was following him.
He took that shit for real and took it to.
Took it for real and took it to the next level. Yeah, man. I gotta give him props.
Give me the name again. I'm gonna jot this down.
Andre Rainey.
Andre Rainey, mayor of Peekskill. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that because that's interesting. You know?
Yeah, like I know the guy, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Because people out here getting in and actually taking action, you know? I've spoken to a lot of people who are running for for office in New York, in other cities, people, artists too, who running for office, man, that are trying to make a real, make a real change in
Yeah,
the
make a
world.
real change. Yeah, I
Because
mean,
you can talk and but action is what,
action is
so
what's, yeah, yeah.
that's really how you affect change, and you got to start from the bottom and work your way up. Get
Word,
yourself in there.
word. That's facts.
But yeah, and then I'm gonna talk to this Trump guy later on and see what I don't know how that conversation is gonna go. But I keep it respectful, I keep it professional. I just want to pick his brain and understand, But I
Yeah,
was a right winger for a while, but when I was a right winger, I was always at odds with the social issues because
yeah.
I supported the right just because I wanted to be able to keep my guns. But everything else
Right.
that they supported, I was like, nah, 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 nah.
Yeah, but
All the social
that's what
issues.
third parties are for. That's what the independent party is for. Libertarian. You know what I'm saying? Green Party. You know what I'm saying? There's a middle ground. We're just not looking for it. We're just looking for the
Yeah.
right or the left.
And
That shit don't make
people,
no sense.
those are well, we have two major party system, and they're always going to be the ones
And the thing is that
who
the Democrats were the ones who was enslaving the black people any fucking way. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And Abraham Lincoln was a Republican, and he's doing. And I'm not saying that he. Okay, see, Abraham Lincoln didn't free the slaves because he wanted to free the slaves, right? He freed the slaves because it was better for the economy because all the other countries were freeing the slaves already. And he's like, yo, let's just make a workforce. Let's just do what these countries are doing.
yeah.
It's just better that way. You know what I'm saying? And he had a reputation of being honest, and I guess being honest got him into beefing with the South. Like, yo, I'm the president. Y'all got to do what I say. South is like, no, fuck
Yeah,
y'all.
we're
You
gonna
want
do
to
our
keep
own
the slaves?
thing.
You
We
want to do?
out. He's like, all right, I'm out. Like that meme. All right,
Yeah,
I'm out. They just want to dip. And
and they were like, no, fuck you. We want to keep our cotton pickers. We want to do this. We want to do that. And that's how the war came about, man. It was like, word, you gonna do what I say. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
that's
wow.
that's what it was about. And later on, something good had to come out of it. So he said, this is what we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's why Abraham Lincoln is. That's why he got killed, though.
Yeah.
He got killed. He got killed for freeing the slaves. He got killed for that because he thought it would just be a better way of life for everybody. It just made more sense to run the country better. You
And
know what I'm saying?
anybody who's tried to affect major change, man, they kill them.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
anybody who's done major things they always get, they always kill them or they lock them up. In Puerto Rico, we had a lot of guys that were locked up. They had just released Oscar Lopez some years ago. They had him locked up for a long time.
From
You know,
FALN?
huh? Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah. Oscar
yo, no,
Lopez.
yeah, I learned about that. I know about the black Puerto Rican flag, about the black and white flag. You
Yeah,
know what
and
I'm
you had
saying?
Pedro
That's
Albizu Campos. I think they killed him. They gave him. I mean, I don't know how true it is, but I read accounts that they used to radiate him to give him cancer and kill him. Like it's crazy, man.
I know it's true because my boxing coach told me about that. My boxing
Mm,
coach told me that his daughter did a report on it, did a presentation on it. He told his daughter about it. His daughter did more research, and she ended up crying about it because it's our people. We know
yeah,
what it is that with us Puerto Ricans is like, like we were colonized by the Spaniards. The U.S. took out the Spaniards. They took us, right? They gave the Philippines their freedom, because the Philippines were colonized too. But they never gave us our freedom. They never
yeah,
gave us. They never said, Puerto Rico, you're a free country. Here's your independence. They allowed us to fight their wars, test their bombs on our country, take over the tourism industry, take over because it's Puerto Rico means rich port.
yeah.
So you
That's
know what I'm
exactly
saying?
what it is.
Basically,
Yeah.
they want to be able to what they were doing, what they did with Iraq, they're doing it in Puerto Rico now, trying to take the oil. There's natural resources that are great in Puerto Rico. Long
Yeah.
story
Well,
short, from what I heard, from our boxing coach told me, there were Puerto Ricans fighting in the Vietnam War. They fulfilled the mission. They survived. They wanted to send them back. They said, hell the fuck no. And it became a whole thing. Motherfuckers was getting locked up. And then motherfuckers in Puerto Rico was creating the FALN because of that.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Which was a Puerto Rican terrorist organization. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That you know, Obama pardoned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The
He
pardon the head
pardoned. Yeah.
later. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that they did fight a war for the U.S. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they did put
Yeah.
in the work. They
There was.
they had the right to say no, just like you had the right to say no. You know what I'm saying? They didn't force you, but they forced them. Imagínate eso. Imagine that. You know what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
crazy, man. It's wild. They did that to a lot of you know, a lot of these people that fought. I think it's called Guam. I want to say it's Guam. I think that was another country that we kind of colonized, but we didn't give them the full rights and you know
Yeah,
and there's
they
a lot
did
of
too.
veterans there and don't take care of them, and it's messed up, man. I mean, look, one thing that I believe is really important is if you fight for me, I got to take care of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you fight for me, you lose an arm, a leg, you know, if you get mental trauma, if you fight for me, I gotta take care of you. And we don't do right by a lot of people, man. That pisses me off, man. That really bothers me, man. It really fucking bothers me a lot, man. You know, the way we treat some veterans, and you know, we've deported a lot of veterans because they weren't here legally. It's like, yo, hold
It
up,
doesn't make
hold
any
up.
sense, bro. Doesn't
How
make any
my
sense.
man's gonna go fight, get all this trauma, physical and mental, and then you're gonna say, you know what? He's not here legally. Get him out. That's fucked up.
It's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
My grandfather fought in the Korean War, and then my father was also in the military. You know what I'm saying? I was the only one that chose not to go to the military because of my beliefs and because of the fact that, you know what I'm saying, music is my life. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You know, I mean, I did take the test though. I passed the ASVAB test with a 51, passed with the skin of my teeth, just didn't go. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I had a GED. They wanted me to go back to college, get 15 credits, you know, to go
Fuck,
back in there.
but for that, just go to college.
But I
You know,
exactly, I said,
just
but I
go
had to
to
go to college and fucking
get an
yeah,
education, get your degree.
yeah,
Why are you gonna go and do 15 credits to be able to meet the minimum to go and do for that? Stay in college, man, and get
retarded,
a
yeah.
you know, yeah. And listen, I support our troops. I don't believe in our politicians, you know, and I don't
Yeah,
believe they take care of our guys. You know, they don't take care of our guys. How are you going to deport somebody that fought for us? Yeah, the minimum you should do for them is give them citizenship. And when I argue with these guys about that, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna bring
they
it up to
deserve
that
a roof over their head. They deserve
word.
3 square meters a day. They deserve good medical. They don't deserve to fucking be out in the streets sleeping on the trains, bro.
Yeah.
This is a
You
white guy
guys,
that some redhead guy, right? He was smoking weed in the train, right? And he got locked up for no bullshit, cigarettes. And I got locked up for hopping the train, right? And everybody was talking shit about him because he stunk and shit. But when you heard him speak, he spoke so eloquently. It's like, yo, why are you fucking here? Why are you homeless? So we started talking. Started telling me how he's from Vermont, telling me how he fought in Iraq. He gave me a play-by-play description of what was going on there, what his job was.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? The like basically the shifts, how they had to change the shifts. You know what I'm saying? So they could be able to attack the enemy from the back. Something like that was crazy. He was talking to me about firearms, the bullets, the rounds. Then he was talking to me how he telling me how to build a house from the ground up. He was talking to me, and then he tells me something about he had a fight with his sergeant.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people in the army that go through a lot of shit in there, man. My father too. My father punched the captain in the face. He didn't know he
Wow.
was a captain. He punched the captain in the face. He got locked up. He punched him in the face because the guy in the bar was acting stupid and he wasn't even in uniform.
Right.
So, long story short, shit like that happened. Also know a guy. I was when I was hustling, there was other guy I was hustling with. He was in the Navy. Guy dreads, cool fucking guy. And he told me, man, he told me that he fought his superior and they broke his ribs and they locked him up.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
was
crazy, man.
crazy. Yeah. So, the army has its own toxicity, man. And you know what I'm saying? That this country
Oh, there's
really has to put a
definitely
stop to that.
racism. There's racism in there. I got called racist stuff when I was in Texas in uniform, man. while in uniform. I had people say some, basically telling me I wasn't welcome in certain places.
Yeah.
That, and I was in uniform. This was in Wichita
That's
Falls. So
crazy.
that shit is like, it was on the border of Oklahoma, like right on the border. I was out
Right.
there, and dudes were like, you wanted them Yankees, right? I'm like, oh, shit, we don't like
Oh
your
yeah,
kind
there's a
around here,
lot of
boy.
that. Yeah,
You
we
know,
are Yankees. Yeah, we
yeah.
are. We're
And
from the north, from the East Coast, the north. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the
I
Bronx. I've
had to
always
get
been Yankee.
myself out of there, man. I was like, there was the tough guy in me was like, thinking like, flex on these guys. Then the smart guy in me was like, these are some big bear looking motherfuckers in the middle of nowhere, like 5 of them, probably carrying guns. Let me not give them a reason,
Yeah,
And
no.
I was
No,
just like,
it's not even that, man. It's like, you know, we read a lot of, especially during Iraq, there was a lot of friendly fire going on.
yeah,
What was really that friendly fire about? Friendly fire means that you went and shot somebody down with your team by mistake.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, was it really friendly fire, or was it like basically you just wanted to take out the bad apples in the crew? Oh,
Yeah,
we don't like this
these
game.
things
We don't
happen.
like this guy.
You know,
Yeah,
these
there's a
things
lot of
happen.
corruption, man. There's a
This,
lot of corruption. There's a lot of homo shit in the military too, from what I heard. You know what I'm saying? I heard a story,
there's,
yo. I heard that's a crazy story. I heard a story about a guy who was changing, right? He was changing his clothes, and you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers was just looking at him, and they offered to give him a blowjob.
that shit, that stuff happens anywhere, man. Like,
I know you told me about
it's just,
that gym shit. That shit was crazy. The
oh
article
man,
I read the article you wrote. That's crazy. Yo, he would have gotten he would have gotten he would not have gotten hit, but he would have gotten his wrist taken off. Right there. Boom, boom, right there. What the fuck
yeah,
you doing?
that was something, man. Like, I didn't hit the guy because he was old, man. That was basically the thing that stopped me from retaliating, was that he was old. I was just, I thought to myself, this doesn't go well for me, no matter what. you
I
know
know. I
in
know.
hindsight, I the one thing I wish I did do was report it. you know I wish I did report it.
Yeah, but you'll
But
be a little bitch. You'll be a snitch for that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, you would have done it. I mean, you would have gotten away with it too. Like, but yeah, I guess you know what?
that
Fuck
would
it.
have
Yeah,
been
you
that would have been probably the better thing to
would
do,
have
because
stopped him. It would have stopped him from doing it again to anybody
that's
else.
that's the reason. Because in this case, me and him both knew that if I wanted to, I could hurt him,
Mm.
right? But what if it's a child that can't defend themselves? Like, I was thinking about that in hindsight. I was like, if I would have spoken up, maybe I could protect someone,
Yeah.
But that's the thing, I was like 20 something years old, and I was thinking the same thing. I'm not gonna go crying for somebody to help me. I don't, I didn't think that, I was thinking like I should just break this guy's fucking face, But
Right.
he was old, man. When I went over to him, so what I did is I came out the shower, I threw on my pants, and I went looking for him. And I was like, I'm gonna fuck this motherfucker up. And when I found him, he's sitting down, and this old guy, he's kind of like leaned over, and he looks up at me,
Uh,
and he could tell that I'm like, I'm ready to, like, I'm about to beat his ass. And he just
yeah.
looks at
So
me,
he
and
was like,
I just looked at him, and I was like,
fuck him
no me
up, fist in his
hable.
face. Mm.
I just looked at him, and I was like,
Motherfucker.
tú sabes, no me hable
Motherfucker.
más.
Ah!
I
Like Will
couldn't, I
Smith.
couldn't, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't. I I'm not a like a naturally violent person, so I couldn't. I just was like, a mí no me hable más.
I
No
know.
me, no me mire, no camine por donde mí. Yo, no, don't come near me. Is what I told him in Spanish. No me busque, no me mire, no me. And that was that. I never dealt with him. Like, never spoke to me, never came near me. Just, he understood. I think he saw it in my face that, you know, I asked him before I walked away. I was like, "What made you think that was okay? Like, what made you think that was safe? You know?" And he's like, "What made
Yeah,
you
word,
think that
right? What made
was,
you think that? Yeah.
what made you think that you could do that?" And he's like, "No, I was just playing. I was just playing." I was like, "Bro, you
That's
grabbed
not
my
playing.
dick,
You don't
man. You
smack
grabbed,
that nigga.
that's,
Motherfucker.
man,
Oh
that shit."
yeah, you know what? Boom, I would have smacked him. There you go. That's the solution. Don't hit him. Smack him one time.
I thought about it, man. Believe me, I thought about it. But
nah, you won't go to jail for it. It's harassment. Look, harassment, assault. All right? Harassment, assault. Remember, you know what I'm saying? Keep your hand. If you're going to do something to somebody and he's a bitch, keep it open-handed. You won't get in trouble for it with the cops. Trust me. I learned that from because I was going to do it to somebody. I actually ended up doing it to somebody. And he tried to call the cops on me. I told him it was open-handed because he disrespected me. And the cop was like, I'm going to let you go because he said it was open-handed.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
those are the tricks.
So,
how to smack somebody.
The trick. The cop, and the Latino cop told me, mira, recuerda, mira, esto harassment, assault. You're going to do something, do it with your hands open.
Yeah,
that's
you know
what
wild,
I'm saying?
Man.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's always good to have, you know what I'm saying, have one of your own give you advice from the inside. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a man on the inside. Pero mira.
Tips and shit, yo.
Word. I got to pee. I've been holding my pee forever, son.
Yo, man, it's been good talking to you, man. You know, listen, you want to give anybody any information on how they can contact you, check out your work?
Yo, yeah, definitely, man. Just hit me up on Facebook. I'm gonna share this shit all over my social media. So you know what I'm saying? You know, it's gonna be there. You gonna put fonts on it and shit like that? Boom.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretty it up. I'm gonna chop it up a little bit. You know,
It'll be there. Yeah, all the information is on the screen right here. Boom. See? Now you can do it right here.
There you go. Web
yeah, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. But yo, good talking to you.
Yeah,
I guess
no
hit me up during the editing phase too, because you know what I'm saying. I mean, in case we said something that was a little too crazy.
Yeah. I'm definitely. I will go through the whole thing, and anything that can get either of us into any problems. I'm gonna edit it. You know, I'm gonna clean it up. You know, don't worry. I'm gonna protect us both.
Good looking.
Yo, no doubt, man. I'm gonna protect us both.
But yo, good talking to you. Yo, we gotta. I mean, after this whole shit dies down, we gotta hang.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, tú eres buena gente, ya tú sabes, se nota.
Yo. Bueno.
Tú sabes, man. All
man.
Right,
brother.
I'm
Peace,
man. Let me go to the bathroom.
All right, bro. Peace, man. Be easy.
All right, ya tú sabes. Peace out.
All right, suave.
You are listening to the NYC Talking podcast. www.nyctalking.com. Please like NYC Talking on Facebook. Please follow Angel R Talk on Twitter and Instagram. We are NYC Talking, the realest lifestyle blog ever. Thanks for listening.